Hi guys, welcome back to exmolex. Why are so many Mormons so judgmental? Why are Utah Mormons extra judgmental? Why are there some Mormons who wear immodest clothing or use curse words or get tattoos when all of those things have been counseled against by Mormon prophets? I think all of these questions go hand in hand, and as a former Mormon myself, I want to talk about it today. A common comment I receive is something like, I follow so-and-so on social media and she is a Mormon, but she doesn't wear garments. I also get a lot of comments from, I think, younger Mormons who say things like, well, I'm a member of the Mormon church and I'm active and practicing, but I drink coffee. Personally, I think that the reason that so many Mormons are judgmental of each other is because of this very thing. Even when I analyze my own feelings about it, even 6 years after leaving the church, I still have a part of me that wants to be judgy when members of the Mormon church do things that are blatantly against the church. I admit it. Sometimes I feel some type of way about it. And I think that comes from the fact that when I was a member, I tried really hard to follow the prophet. And I felt a lot of guilt and shame and self-loathing when I didn't. So to be totally honest, there's a part of me that would feel, first of all, jealous. Jealous seeing my peers partaking in quote unquote fun stuff that I couldn't/wouldn't do because I had been raised my whole life to believe that Heavenly Father would be disappointed in me if I did those things. I would feel like the people doing those bad things were hypocrites. And to be fair, they do quite literally fit the definition of a hypocrite, claiming to have these standards and beliefs that are good and moral and correct, but then not actually conforming to those standards themselves. It felt unfair. Like, why do you get to claim Mormonism as your religion and seemingly receive the same blessings by doing that, but then you're not actually doing the things that make you a Mormon? And just to make sure that nobody is confused, because sometimes people do get confused, within the Mormon church, the prophets have officially counseled against coffee, tea, tattoos, extra piercings, immodest clothing, bikinis, curse words, rated R movies, and more. No matter what way you try to spin it, those things have been talked about and counseled against in general conference talks, in seminary classes, in Sunday school lessons, etc., etc., etc. If you, as a member of the church, have made an exception for yourself because you personally feel like it is okay for you to drink coffee, or because you feel like only God can judge you, or whatever, all right, but that doesn't mean that it suddenly just isn't against church teachings because you do it. And I think that this is where the question of why are Utah Mormons extra judgmental comes in, because Utah Mormons typically follow the prophet more closely than the Mormons in the rest of the world. They're closer in proximity to church headquarters. They're enmeshed more deeply in church culture. They're surrounded by other members. They often actually attend general conference in person or get opportunities to meet general authorities. Because of all this, they're more likely to attend church functions and be more likely to be more active, more practicing, more following the church more closely than members who are not in Utah. And because of all of that, I think they are more likely to be extra judgmental of members who don't follow the teachings to the same standards that they do. And I have to say, as somebody that was born and raised in the Mormon church in the state of Utah, I get it. Like I said, even now, 6 years later, I still get this twinge of uncomfortable feeling when members of the church just ignore prophetic counsel and do whatever they want. It's a lot more complicated now because I don't believe that the church is true. And I also believe that a lot of that prophetic counsel is just a way for the church to exert control over its members. So when I observe that happening now, on the one hand, I'm like, well, that's hypocritical. But on the other, good for you for being non-compliant. Good for you for being independent and making your own choices and not letting these authority figures control your entire life. It's a weird position to be in and a weird feeling to have. Especially when it comes to my own family members that are members of the church who I just absolutely adore, but who might judge me for leaving the church. Like, you're judging me for not following Mormonism when I don't even believe in it, but you yourself are a member of the church and you do believe in it and you still aren't following it? Make it make sense. But all in all, it's one of the ways in which I feel like being a member of the church for my whole life still affects me today. I absolutely do not want to be that stereotypical judgmental Utah Mormon, but that little part of me sometimes still rears its ugly head. I'm curious to hear your thoughts in the comments. I hope that I'm not alone in having some of these feelings. I just wanted to share my thoughts and opinions, so let me know what you guys think. Big thanks to my patrons for supporting the channel. You guys are the best, and extra special thank you to Doug Davis for supporting at the Demon tier on my Patreon. If you'd like to support the channel, there are links to do so in the description below. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!